Good morning, happy Sunday. Another weekend where the weather is not that great. That's the politest way of putting it anyway. It's meant to pick up this week, so that should be good news for whatever's left in the grow zone. I've still got my tomatoes growing in there. I've still got tomatoes ripening in the hanging basket just outside the back door. But I have decided that the veg beds are probably not going to be, sorry about that, the veg beds are probably not going to be productive anymore. So my plans for today are to get everything dug out of the veg beds and stored so that we can start eating that stuff. There's not a massive amount to come out. There's some onions left in there, some potatoes and some carrots. So I will get all that out today and we'll see what that haul looks like. The veg beds will then probably be, now I'm in two minds. I'm in two minds as to what to do with the veg beds. Either I'm going to put some, oh my goodness, I can't think of the name for it. I've got some metal sheeting basically. Now last year I put the bastard weed suppressant on it. It worked to a certain degree, but not as well as I would have liked. So I'm either going to put the metal sheeting, corrugated metal, on top of the veg beds to stop the light getting in and to stop the weeds from growing anymore over the winter. Or I'm going to get some green manure, and I'm not sure which is the best to do. So I'm still got to make up my mind on that yet. But anyway, in the meantime, let's get everything out of them and let's have a look at our ultimate haul after that summer. Tomatoes looking like they're on their last legs, but still ripening. Well, at least I'll get a few from this lot. I moved this lot from the back door and it seems to be doing much better here. This is the lemon balm, the chives, and at the other side here is the rosemary. It was getting kind of thwarted where it was because, well, basically it wasn't getting very much light, and the shrubs that they were growing under basically were just not the best environment for these to be growing. But yeah, my chives have flowered again, which is lovely. The raspberries, which are growing next to the barbecue, are doing amazing. Look at the size of these. And I'm just going to put my hand behind them just for comparison. They're absolutely massive. These are always really, really good raspberries. There's not any down below that level because the dogs eat them. Ripe, unripe, they don't care. They just eat them. So yeah, they've eaten all the ones from the bottom down here, but they can't reach these ones up here. So I'll be getting them picked off and eaten very, very soon before the dogs figure out how to jump up onto the barbecue area and get them eaten. But look at them. Some they've gone past their best there, but yeah, beauties, aren't they? And here's the veg in the grow zone. Oh, plus the addition of 2 plants that I bought on Friday night. Aldi's good for their plants. Love the prices. They'll be going in the house, but I've just stored them in here for now until I can put them into new pots. But yeah, still no peppers. Tiny, tiny, tiny flowers on there. They might come to something, they might not. Still got some tomatoes on here that don't show any signs of A, getting bigger, or B, ripening. But like I say, we've got some unexpected nice September weather coming up this week, so hopefully they will do something anyway. But look at this bad boy. Oof, my cucumber still looking really good, so that will get eaten at some point. I broke the handle on this a few months ago and I've still not got around to replacing it yet, but it still does the trick. So the onions are over here, the potatoes are over here. Probably better starting with the onions actually. Oh, we've got many more onions. Oh, there's one. Well, there wasn't much on the onion front. Pretty pathetic really. But it was a good time. Just do a bit of weeding on the veg bed and get some of these ground elder roots out. It's going to be a labour of love. And now it's time to see how many potatoes we've got left. And that's it for the potatoes. Bearing in mind, over the last few weeks or so, I've been digging them out and cooking them and eating them as and when required. But yeah, that's it. So I've given that a good weed. And I'll just have to keep on top of this. Hello there. I'll just have to keep on top of this over the winter. Let's say I've not made up my mind yet whether I'm going to use green manure or if I'm going to just cover them over. We'll see. Now let's see how the carrots have fared. Here's the final haul. Not the best. That's the carrots. They're tiny, but I'll get them dried, I'll get them cleaned up, and they will get eaten, regardless of how small they are. I don't really know where I've gone wrong. Maybe there's not enough light in the veg beds. And this is where they are. So that's the one that the potatoes and onions were in. That's the one that the carrots were in. As you can see, I've just given that a pretty good weed. We've still got the raspberries over there. Again, I'm thinking maybe there isn't enough light even for the raspberries, because you saw the raspberries up in the top garden next to the barbecue area, so they're doing a lot better, but then they get a lot of sun. So yeah, maybe it's just too dark here because we've got the trees here. Maybe, I don't know, who knows. Anyway, that's it for the veg beds this year. I'll just keep on top of them over winter. Keep weeding them. Still not decided. Oh, do I cover them over? Do I green manure? Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know. So yeah, if you've used green manure in the past, it would be interesting to hear your thoughts on it. I'm more leaning towards that, because I think maybe there's not enough nutrients in the soil, and that's why nothing really did that well. Obviously the potatoes did okay, but it wasn't a massive amount of potatoes. The onions are all absolutely tiny. The carrots, although they look healthy, they're tiny. So yeah, it could be a nutrient problem rather than a light problem, because in the summertime, although we do have the trees up here, you know, they might be blocking a tiny little bit of the light. It's a south facing garden, so the sun does come round and it will shine directly on the veg beds for maybe an hour or two in the afternoon in the summer. So I don't know, but yeah, if you've got any advice, especially when it comes to using green manure, then please do let me know. I'm all ears. But I think I'm going to take this opportunity right now to do a little bit more weeding. So there's the bottom veg bed still that I didn't use this year. I planned on growing lettuce and spinach in that, and just never got round to sowing the seeds, so that one's not been used at all. But considering it's not too bad, it's not too riddled with ground elder. But that's something else. If you've got experience with ground elder and you managed to get rid of it, please let me know how you did that. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna weed around the veg beds and then that last bottom veg bed, and that'll be it. That's so sad, because that'll be it until next spring. But it feels like months of preparation went into these veg beds just to get that tiny little amount of potatoes, tiny little onions and tiny little carrots. I guess if I was going for full self-sufficiency, I'd have starved to death by now. It's a bit harder than I thought it was going to be. So, okay, so that really is it for the veg beds for this year, bar coming out during the winter and turning the soil over, or if I do decide to get some green manure, I will share that little journey with you. We've got some fruit on the apple tree. This one never does all that well, but what we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I can see. So we'll see how that goes. We catch up on the massive log store. Richie has now put the centre posts in. That's this one here and that one. We were discussing earlier what the plans were, and it's quite fluid actually, so I'll keep you updated. My boots are absolutely minging from standing in the compost piles. Going to wash these bad boys up. Whew. It's a little bit better, isn't it? Hello. So this is a re-record of the video that I recorded earlier. What was going to be the original ending to this weekend's video. As you can maybe tell, I've come out for a run. Me and Coco have come out for a run, and as I've been running, I've decided that I'm not going to share the original ending to today's video. That's not to cause any mystery. It's more, I was quite honest about how I've been feeling lately, and I guess I was showing vulnerability, and I'm just not yet comfortable in sharing my own vulnerability. It's one of those things, I know. I'm aware that I'm not good at it. Just not yet ready to address my own vulnerabilities, because I'm too tough for that kind of malarkey. And plus, I think if I'd shared my brutal honesty, it may have gotten me into some sort of trouble. Specifically at work. So, this is what I'm going to say instead. Oh, sorry, Babs. No, I'm not going to say sorry, Babs. If you're having any issues with stress and anxiety, I'd like to just share with you some of the things that I've been doing which helps me deal with it a little bit better. 1, yoga. Yoga. Need to say any more. 2, running. Running is a great stress relief for me. Coco, you're pulling. Don't be doing that. Hence why I've been getting myself out running a little bit more lately. Oh shoot, sorry Babs. God, she's not quite gotten used to this on the lead thing. I don't think she was ever on a lead before we got her. And she's just used to going round and round in circles, hence why I'm bringing her out running. So, you know, I'm moving a bit faster and she moves in a straight line, which is just amazing. Oh, but she's not quite got the hang of the lead thing. When we slow down to a walk, she'll get there eventually. Anywho, 1 yoga, 2 running, 3 gardening, 4 getting out in nature, 5 ashwagandha. These are the 5 things that I've been doing recently to try and reduce my stress levels and to make me feel slightly less anxious. Now, what I recorded earlier was basically talking about the correlation between mental well-being and gardening and getting out in nature specifically. I'm no doctor, however, I know that studies have shown that getting out in nature and doing things like gardening are really beneficial for positive mental well-being. And that's one of the reasons that I've really enjoyed recording all these videos and sharing my wee journey with you. And putting it all together, I've actually thoroughly enjoyed it, and I find doing this very therapeutic. I enjoy talking, which I don't actually do very much of in relationships and stuff. You know, my husband, yeah. But generally I'm the listener, not the talker. So this helps me to just talk, get things off my chest. So maybe that's been beneficial as well. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. And this is the re-record, purely because I don't want to get into any trouble for being brutally honest and being vulnerable. So that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching this video today. Sorry if that all seemed a little convoluted, but it makes sense in my head. And I will see you in next week's video, where hopefully I'll have some more progress reports for you and some positive updates on anything and everything. But until then, take care, have a good week and stay safe. Mwah.